I apologize, we're back, and this looks a whole lot better. This is the INSS H2O well drilling Super Stock Series here at New Smyrna Speedway. We're getting ready for 75 laps of action here at the racetrack. Caden Fisher currently second fastest on the track. Eric Steele currently the fastest. Sean Fleury, your points leader here. Working around the outside of Mark Baldwin here in practice. Watching these boys practice earlier, the track has been very slick and slimy. You can see these boys slip slide in all over the place here tonight. So I expect much of the same as the race goes on, much like we saw last week at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. See Sean Fleury still at the top of the board. Stephen Rockford sits in second, Justin Prescott in third, Jason Pelkey and Mark Baldwin, your top five. Shane O'Neill sits back in sixth, Carson Nagy seventh, Ty Delphia in eighth. Mike Young and Jake Grout round out your top 10 as we have so far 17 drivers getting ready to take on this tricky New Smyrna Speedway. She's Shane O'Neill out there doing a little Tokyo drifting around the track, just showing how slick and wild this track really is. So we got about 2 minutes left before practice gets completed and we start our heat racing. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners here tonight, including H2O Well Drilling, located in Milford, Vermont, as well as Til Dark Roofing. You can find the phone numbers of both those guys down in the link below, or in the description below, excuse me. Also, we want to thank our great partners over here at Intensity Broadcasting, including Race EPI, IntensityRacing.com, and The Butt Kicker. Of course, we've got cars still out there on track trying to figure their way around this tricky track. Again, here's Ethan Tyrell. Currently sits in the 8th position. Try to see if he can find any speed in this last minute of practice. We'll see that a lot tonight. Drivers bouncing off the wall slightly. And you hear the cars bottoming out through the corners as well. This track has got a little bit of character, got some bumps to it. So as they go through the corner and exit turn number 2 here, you might hear that car bottom out as we see Ethan Tyrell pull down off the corner. We see Sean Fleury, a little bit of a battle, a little bit of contact there with Mark Baldwin as they continue to race around each other here in practice. It's a good idea, get some good practice around other drivers. So you kind of feel how that car is going to handle pinch down on the inside or stuck there on the outside. Of course, I want to thank everybody who's watching tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Do appreciate you tuning in here tonight and joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. That little notification bell so you know anytime Intensity Broadcasting goes live. Of course, this is race 7, just a few more races left before they wrap up their season here in the INSS. As practice now has come to an end and we're getting ready for our heat races. We'll take a look at our starting grid for our first heat race. Oh, I take that back. Qualifying. Qualifying before the heat races, of course. Sean Fleury out on track. You see him getting ready to get his qualifying attempt underway. coming across, take the white flag for his second lap here. Down through turns 3 and 4. And really loose there off of turn number 4, but coming down to the stripe, and Sean Fleury is going to stay in that third position. Currently, Caden Fisher on pole. Mike Young now just coming off of coming through turns 3 and 4. Oh, really loose there off of turn number 4 to the stripe. And Mike Young is going to stay up in the 12th position. See Pete Fisher coming to get the white flag. He makes his way off of turn number 4, across the stripe, and Fisher improves his time up into the 7th position. Looks like just 2 drivers left to qualify. That would be the 30 of Cam Powers and the 10 of Logan Powers. Of course, as I mentioned, just 3 more races after this one tonight. Next week, we move on to Iowa, then Southern National, and then round out the season at Nashville Fairgrounds. You see Logan Powers now out on track, coming across the stripe to get the green flag for his first of 2 laps. He finishes currently up on pole after his first lap. Let's see what he's able to do on his second lap. He's able to increase that, make sure that he stays on pole. As Cam Powers is out on track right now as well, off of turn number 4, and Logan Powers does not better his time, as we see Cam Powers out on track now, just took the green flag. Coming down off, whoa, really loose off of turn number 4. That's not going to help his time, as his first lap puts him dead last. See if he's able to improve on his second lap. Nope, he's not going to. He catches the wall hard, and that's going to do it for his qualifying attempt here tonight. So we know he'll start from the tail of the field, as we have about a minute left here in qualifying. Of course, again, we want to thank all of our great partners here tonight, including H2O Well Drilling out of Milton, Vermont. And we see him gridding up right now for our first heat race here. And Logan Powers on pole, Ethan Tyrell in second, Eric Steele, Sean Fleury, and Stephen Rockford round out your top 5. Joel Hogden will be in 6th. Ty Delphia, Kyle Streeter, and Shane O'Neill will be in this first heat. We see the cars getting ready to roll off of pit road. Of course, last week's winner will be moved to the rear. One of the rules here of the INSS. So Logan Powers will lead him down to the start. Of course, start of the race has to be on green flag. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Green flag is in the air. We are racing. Logan Powers down on that low side. He has Ethan Tyrell really fighting hard up on that high side as Tyrell gets the position off of turn number 2, but here comes Powers down to the inside as they come down through turn 3 and 4 for the first time. It's going to be a drag race down to the stripe, and Powers is going to lead the lap barely in the first of 2 heat races. See Eric Steele, we've seen a lot of speed out of him the last couple weeks. He's just kind of hanging out there in the 3rd place. And our points leader, Sean Fleury, right behind in that 31 machine, biding his time, just trying to show some patience here while these drivers continue to battle up front for the lead. Tyrell now clears Powers as they go down into turn number 3. And now Eric Steele. Oh, a little contact between him and Fleury. Fleury gets turned around. And Sean Fleury backwards on the front stretch. Again, no cautions here in these heat races. So that's going to move Eric Steele up into the 3rd position. And he's going to try to fight to the outside of Logan Powers. Steele gets a little loose down into the entry of the corner. That's going to allow Powers to get a little bit of a run off the high side here. A little further back, we see a battle between Joel Hogden and Stephen Rockford in the 36. I'm sorry, the 25 of Shane O'Neill in this mix as well. We see Ty Delphia right there moving forward as Logan Powers and Eric Steele continue to battle side by side up front. And again, oh, some contact there as Steele really loose into the corner, tries to keep himself off of Powers. That's going to give Powers a ton of breathing room. Set his sights on Ethan Tyrell. And here comes Ty Delphia trying to make a move on Steele, excuse me. And you see the 36 of Hogden now up on that high side. He's getting some pressure from Stephen Rockford, who's down to the low side. Up at the front, coming down. And that is going to be the checker flag right there. As Ethan Tyrell is going to get the win. Logan Powers 2nd, Eric Steele in 3rd. Let's take a look at those results. Maybe see if I can get my timing and scoring to play nicely here. For some reason, this timing and scoring does not like heat races, and I apologize for that not showing up there at the top properly. See if I can get the time and scoring to work properly for me here. So. Well, Caden Fisher, Jason Pelkey will be row 1, Jimmy Hebert, Pete Fisher in row 2, Jake Rout, Mark Baldwin row 3, Mike Young, Dean Gelson in row 4, and Cam Powers at the back. And now my timing and scoring decided it wanted to work all by itself for everything. There we go, green flag is back in the air. And we are back racing here for 8 laps. As Pelkey is going to take over the lead immediately from Caden Fisher. Oh, Pelkey gets really, really loose there. A little battle back here between Jimmy Hebert and Pete Fisher. As a battle for the third position. Hebert has that inside advantage. But Fisher showing some speed up on that high side. He's going to get or stay out in front of Hebert. Now Jake Rout's going to take a look down to the inside of Hebert. And Kane Fisher's going to take a look down to the inside of Pelkey. Pelkey's going to hold on to that lead for now. As the field starts to get single file, except for back here, where you see Cam Power taking a look down underneath Mike Young for the 7th position. Back up front, Fisher now with a look underneath Pelkey. As they come across stripe, just 4 laps to go. Almost some contact there between Fisher and Pelkey, but Pelkey able to hold on to that top spot for now as we are coming through turns 3 and 4. Getting ready to come to 3 laps to go here in our second heat race. Oh, some contact behind 91 of Mark Baldwin. Almost loses it with some contact from the 49 of Jake Rout, but he's able to keep it going straight. As here comes Fisher trying to make another move. Down underneath Pelkey. They're side by side, 2 laps to go. Can Fisher do anything in these last 2 laps? And we see Pete Fisher right behind trying to hold off Jimmy Hebert as they're side by side, cross the line, white flag. Fisher's got the position. Down into turn at number 1. Oh, some contact between him and Pelkey. That's going to allow Pete Fisher to sneak on through to the lead. They're 3 wide behind. Hebert on the inside, Pelkey in the middle, Fisher on the outside, 3 wide off of turn number 4. Pete Fisher's going to get the win of the heat. Jimmy Hebert in second. Pelkey comes home third. Caden Fisher in the 4th position. As we take a look at the results of our second heat. Again, Pete Fisher with the win. Jimmy Hebert in second. Pelkey in third. Kane Fisher 4th. Jake Rout 5th. Mike Young in 6th. Mark Baldwin comes home 7th. Cam Powers and Dean Gerlickson round out the field in our second heat race as drivers are on track right now for their warm-up. Devin Butchno says, love the street stock short race track racing. First league you ever ran in was street stocks. Yeah, it's definitely some awesome racing for sure. As we want to thank all of our great partners here that make this league possible, including H2O Well Drilling out of Milton, Vermont. You can check them out. Their phone number is located down below in the description. Of course, Til Dark Roofing, another great partner with the league, making sure that we have you guys a show to watch every Sunday night. Of course, we want to thank our great partners here in Intensity Broadcast, including Race EPI. For all your iRacing setups and coaching needs, check out raceepi.com. IntensityBroadcasting.com, where you can find all your Intensity gear, as well as some of our league merchandise as well, and some novelty t-shirts. You can check all that out at IntensityRacing.com. And of course, our great partner, the Butt Kicker. Of course, Butt Kicker is an established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And of course, they have more than just racing haptics. You can find speakers and haptics that go inside your couch or around your couch for watching movies, listening to music. So they've got a full line of products. check them all out at thebuttkicker.com. On the YouTube, we just had someone, Beard Game says, how do I race this? Well, if you have an iRacing subscription, you can go ahead and look up the iRacing Northern Street Stock Series. They are primarily drivers from the Northeast, the New England region. So you'd have to check with them. Their season's just about over. They only have about 3 races left after tonight. But we do have lots of racing here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we have the SCSRA Truck Series on Tuesday nights. They're recruiting always. The SCSRA Xfinity Series, as well as the Original Rebels Racing League. So lots of leagues here on Intensity Broadcasting. You can join iRacing by following iRacing.com. There is a link down in the description to iRacing as well. And that's how you can get in on the action in some of these awesome iRacing leagues. Well, we got about 1 minute and 15 seconds here in the warm-up before we get racing underway. Let's retake a look at our points coming into tonight. Of course, Sean Fleury up at the top of the board. Steven Rockford in second. Justin Prescott, Jason Pelkey, and Mark Baldwin round out your top 5 in points. Shane O'Neill in 6. Carson Nagy, Ty Delphia, Mike Young, and Jake Grout, your top 10. Caden Fisher, Kyle Streeter, Joel Hogden, Scott Rockford, and Ryman Castle are the top 15 in points. Of course, as I mentioned before, the winner from last week will have to find themselves to the rear of the pack for the start of the race. That means that Logan Powers will have to start from the rear of the field, as the checkered flag is out on this warm-up, and we get ready to take a look at our starting grid. So on pole tonight, Ethan Tyrell will be starting from the pole position after winning his heat race. Peter Fisher will be to his outside after winning his heat race. Logan Power, shown starting third, he will have to drop to the rear of the field as Jimmy Hebert will roll off from the 4th position. Eric Steele in 5th, Jason Pelkey will roll off 6th. In row number 4, Ty Delphia and Caden Fisher. Fisher showing a lot of speed last week and showing a lot of speed in practice and heat racing tonight. So we'll see where he's able to work his way from that 8th starting position. 9th will be Joel Hogden, and Jake Grout will round out your top 10. 11th, Steve Rockford with Mike Young rolling off from the 12th position. 13th, Shane O'Neill and Mark Baldwin from the 14th position. Kyle Streeter and Cam Powers back in row number 8. Row 9 is Sean Fleury and Dean Gallison. And that will round out the field here tonight at New Smyrna Raceway. There you go. Start Monday Motorsports. That's Alex Veith over with the Original Rebels and Thunderstrucks, as the Monday night Thunderstrucks Street Stocks are recruiting. All the Thunderstruck starts up here shortly. And yeah, Feared Gamer says he sent an application for both, as well as a link to the Discord. Perfect. So we've got some recruiting here in the chat as well. And that's what we're here for. You know, it's all about this race here tonight. It's all about our great partners at H2O, Well Drilling, and Til Dark Roofing. But it's all about the iRacing community and getting people hooked up together for some great racing here on iRacing. And that's exactly what we like to do here, and we like to see that community come together as the pace car is taking its left-hand turn on the pit road, and we are green flag racing here at New Smyrna as Ethan Tyrell Gets a great jump into the corner, and Peter Fisher tries to make a move. Almost some contact. Looks like there was some contact between Fisher and Tyrell. And here comes the 32 of Eric Steele taking a look down to the inside as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Steele, has that run on the inside, but here comes Fisher again on the outside. That's Pete Fisher up on the outside. Eric Steele, though, gets that position as Fisher has a little trouble there, gets a little loose, and here comes Til Delphia to the inside trying to take over that third spot. Right behind them, we see Jimmy Hebert and Joel Hogden going at it. Fisher, though, Pete Fisher up on that high side, really making that high lane work for the moment. He's able to stay door to door with the 13 of Til Delphia as they rocket down the backstretch. As these drivers run side by side off of turn number 4, it's allowing Ethan Tyrell and Eric Steele to pull away from the rest of the field as they're able to run their line comfortably. You see this little bit of a gaggle of cars here as they make their way off of turn number 2. See Logan Powers in the 10 back here. Started dead last due to having to take that EOL because of winning last race. Already made up one position as he's slowly trying to get his way up through the field. He knows that when you see a gaggle of cars battling like this, anything's possible. You can easily see a big wreck. We've seen that last week a couple times as Pete Fisher has cleared Jimmy Hebert and Til Delphia. And he's starting to pull back away from those two as they come into turns 3 and 4 and getting ready to work lap number 7. Once these boys hit about lap number 10, you'll really start seeing these cars start to wiggle as the tires start to heat up quite a bit. And you'll see a loss of traction. So Caden Fisher right here in this mix as well, looking to make it 3 wide for a second. Tucks back in behind Til Delphia as Hogden gets really loose there off of turn number 4. It'll hold on to it. Now here comes Caden Fisher down to the inside of Til Delphia. Not able to pull alongside as now he's battling again. Oh, we got one around in the back, the 17 of Mike Young, and that's Logan Powers getting collected in that one as well. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night as we take a look to see exactly what happened there between Mike Young and Logan Powers. See Powers there down on the inside. Oh, some contact. So that was Cam Powers. Got a little into the wall, got a little loose, came down, made the contact with the 17 of Mike Young. He's trying to hold on to it, catches the grass, and once you catch the grass, that's going to shoot that car right back across the track, right in front of Logan Powers, who has nowhere to go. That's a tough break for Logan Powers. We'll actually ride along with Logan. We can see just how fast this happens because he's got a great view of it. Unfortunately, he sees it happen right in front of him, and just nothing he can do. So unfortunately for Logan Powers, doesn't look like too much damage to that car. Looks like he should be able to continue there without using his reset. Yeah, just a little bit of front end damage. It's pushed up a little bit, but wasn't a hard enough hit to really do any severe damage to that machine. So he's going to stay out on the track and hopefully be able to continue to try to move back up in a repeat like he did last week. Rumor has it an all-star broadcaster will be filling in for Atlee on Thursday nights and Thunderstruck for the first 4 nights. I have not heard that rumor, Alex, but looking forward to seeing who that is. Of course, Thunderstruck will be starting back up on Thursday nights within the next couple weeks. So you'll have action on Tuesdays, doubleheader on Tuesdays, racing on Wednesdays, Thunderstruck on Thursdays. And the INSS on Sundays. As the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road, Ethan Tyrell gets a great jump on Eric Steele. They make their way down into turn number 1. Pete Fisher down on the low side of Jimmy Hebert. As they come off of turn number 2 and down into turns 3 and 4. And great battle right there between these two drivers. Here comes Ty Delphia up into the mix, and you see Caden Fisher in that 18 right there as well. Caden up on the high side trying to make something happen here as they go down into turns 3 and 4. He's going to clear Ty Delphia, and up front we see a little battle starting to heat up between Pete Fisher and Jimmy Hebert. Hebert trying to make a move now down to the inside, but just not close enough to try to make anything happen, as Ty Delphia going to have to tuck in behind Steven Rockford. So move Rockford up another spot into the 6th position as he's starting to look to the back bumper of Caden Fisher. A little further back, we see a battle back here. 2 battles, in fact, between Sean Fleury, our points leader, and Shane O'Neill. And right behind we see Kyle Streeter and Jake Grout. So a couple battles all over the track as the battle for the lead is starting to heat up. We see Steele up on the high side trying to make a move. And Caden Fisher now up into the 4th position. They're 3 wide. Caden Fisher on the inside. Oh, contact between Caden and Pete Fisher, as they're still 3 wide down into turn number 3. Eric Steele, the loser in this one, he's going to fall all the way back from the 2nd position back into 5th as Steven Rockford's trying to make a move now underneath the 32. Caden Fisher around Pete Fisher and up into the 2nd position. And Caden making some big moves here in the last couple laps. Oh, some contact between Fisher and Tyrell, and that puts him up into the wall as big dive bomb by Jimmy Hebert on Pete Fisher as they are side by side for the 4th position. Hebert gets that position away. Here comes Pete Fisher, who has Steven Rockford to the inside battling for position. We've got a battle for the lead heating up as Caden Fisher's trying to use the high side the long way around to get around Ethan Tyrell as they are side by side across the stripe. Tyrell's going to barely hold on to the lead as they come down into turns 1 and 2. Oh, some contact between Fisher and Tyrell. More contact. Tyrell pushes Fisher right up the track, but here comes Fisher with the momentum on the high side. He's trying to clear that 49 machine. Tyrell's going to lose another position as we got a big wreck back here. A couple cars are just up in the wall. They were able to hold on to it. I saw the 36 getting right reared almost into the wall. Looks like he's got some heavy damage to that right front. And the left side of that machine as well is all scraped up, so some contact has put Joel Ogden back into the 9th position. Jake Grout having some issues. He's around on the front stretch. No caution, though. Or excuse me, around on turn number 2. No caution. So we're able to keep rolling. There's a couple battles still taking place here on track, including between Ty Delphia and Eric Steele, as Eric Steele's trying to work himself back up to the front. Oh, some contact between Steele and Delphia there. Some more contact as Delphia is trying to use that chrome horn to get around that 32 machine. So Caden Fisher up front. Now Jimmy Hebert is in the 2nd position. That moves Tyrell back into 3rd. And Hebert showing some speed here in the late running. Tucked right in on the gearbox of Caden Fisher. We ride along with Fisher here and we take a look off the back bumper. As Hebert gets the look down underneath of Fisher. They're side by side for the lead, but Fisher's able to hold on to that top spot for now. And caution is out on track yet again. It looks like Shane O'Neill has got spun around in turn number 3. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. So we take a look to see what happened here to the 25 machine. Oh, just loses it all by himself trying to get back to the gas. Spins out right in front of Cam Powers. And that's the 37 of Kyle Streeter. Oh, Streeter gets turned around as well. See Logan Powers and Cam Powers and Mike Young. Oh, that's close. Everybody's able to avoid Streeter there as Shane O'Neill got the worst of that as he gets turned back around. Doesn't look like any damage to that 25 machine, so he'll be able to continue on. As Caden Fisher continues to lead over Jimmy Hebert, Ethan Tyrell, Stephen Rockford, and Pete Fisher. So the lights will be turning off on the pace car this time by. We'll get ready to go back green flag racing. We'll re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here at New Smyrna Speedway. Again, don't forget to join us on Tuesday night for our truck doubleheader as the Doghouse Racing League is well into their playoffs now, and they're going to be continuing on for some great racing. This week they'll be taking on Nashville Fairgrounds for their second race of the playoffs, followed by the SCSRA Truck Series, as they will be taking on Rockingham. So a couple great races coming up on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we have the SCSRA Xfinity Series, which will be taking on Kansas Speedway. And then next Sunday, you can join us right back here for the INSS as they take on Iowa Speedway. So lots of great short tracks here as Kane Fisher up on the outside, Jimmy Hebert down on the bottom. So leader's choice here on the restart, and Fisher's going to use that high lane to his advantage on the start. Pace car is off, green flag's in the air. Fisher with a great launch up on that high side. That's going to move Stephen Rockford trying to battle for that second position as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Hebert looks like he was caught napping there on that restart. He's going to fall all the way back into the third position. Now Eric Steele battling up on the high side. Hebert's able to clear Steele as they come off of turn number 4. And Ethan Tyrell now finds himself back in the 5th position as Ty Delphi is working down underneath Pete Fisher. Sean Fleury, our points leader, kind of been stuck in the middle of the pack, racing with people all night long. He has not been able to get any momentum to move himself forward. He is up 9 positions from where he started because he was in that incident, but right now finds himself in the 9th position and just kind of been stalled out in the middle of the field since the drop of the green flag. Steve Rockford and Eric Steele battling side by side for that 3rd position. Steele down to the inside. As here comes Jimmy Hebert taking a look down to the inside of Caden Fisher. We Here's a battle for the lead. Fisher up on the high side. Hebert down on the low side as they make their way down into turns 1 and 2. And Fisher just able to sneak out in front of that 58 machine as Steven Rockford runs right onto the back bumper of Jimmy Hebert. As the front of the field starts to get single file, the back of the field is all battling hard as we see Jake Grout working to the outside of Shane O'Neill. Well, this Logan Powers with that damaged car now finds himself up into the 12th position. He's trying to move himself forward. Actually, it looks like he's been down pit road to get that car fixed up. And no. Yes, he has been down on pit road. So Logan Powers did take his reset, realized that his car was just a little too banged up. And now he's starting to move his way through the field. Up front, Kane Fisher still has Jimmy Hebert right there on the back bumper. As we take another look off the back bumper of Kane Fisher. You hear that car bottoming out through the corner. That can really upset these cars, get them a little out of shape. You see the sparks fly off these cars as they get down into the bumps. Another thing you see flying is the rubber off these tires. Almost some contact there. As these street stock tires are almost regular street tires. They've got grooves in them. So they do wear kind of like a street tire would wear. So that's why you see a huge amount of buildup of rubber on the outside of the track as the race goes on. And just like real racing, those marbles up there can get your car out of shape if you get up in them. So as we see Hebert now taking a look down to the inside, trying to take the lead away. Fisher up on the high side, battling hard. He's able to keep that high lane momentum. Hebert down on the bottle, able to turn in. Almost some contact between those two drivers. Now Fisher's able to retake the lead solidly, as Steven Rockford was thinking about making a move down underneath the 58 of Hebert. Well, further back, we see Logan Powers in a bit of a battle back here. Moving around Ethan Tyrell. Tyrell has been struggling since he was out front early, led a bunch of laps. Now he's steadily falling through the field. Finds himself back in the 11th position as he's going to lose another position to the 36 of Joel Ogden. Kyle Streeter right there. We see a lot of damage to that 37 as he takes a look down underneath Ethan Tyrell. And just in front, we see Logan Powers working down underneath Cam Powers. So that's a side-by-side battle for the 9th position. So great battles all over the track as Sean Fleury now able to get around Jason Pelkey, move him up into the 7th position. We are just past halfway, and Caden Fisher now has another battle on his hand as Jimmy Hebert's trying to get that top spot back away from the 18 machine. Right behind we see Pete Fisher and Eric Steele still going at it as well, so battles all over the track. And Pete Fisher almost was able to clear Eric Steele. You see Ty Delphia right here in the mix as well as they're side by side down the backstretch as we are coming to lap number 43. Fisher's just not able to get the power down on that low side. Oh, Cam Powers is around. That's going to bring out a caution. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. Man, we had to rewind that one quite a bit because that one actually starts all the way back in turns 3 and 4. And no contact, just loses it all by himself. Gets down into the grass, catches the inside wall. And once you get in that grass, it just wants to shoot that car around as he spins right around in front of Baldwin. And we're able to... He's able to gather it up and only be a single car incident. So Kane Fisher continues to lead, up 7 spots from where he started. Jamie Hebert in second, up 2. Then Stephen Rockford sits back in third, up 8 position from where he started. Our biggest mover of the race, though, is the man sitting back in the 6th position. And that's Sean Fleury. Currently up 10 spots from where he started, up into the 7th position. And while we're here under yellow, ignore the scoring at the top of the screen. The way iRacing does since yellow flag laps do not count, the scoring does get a little funky under yellow. How can I improve my picture quality on this? Definitely cannot read the scoreboard. If you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to click the little settings at the bottom of the screen. We do broadcast in 4K. I'm sorry, in high def, 1080p. So if you're watching on a mobile device, you'd hit your green flags back in the air as we go back green flag racing. Big jump for Caden Fisher as Eric Steele falls back to the 3rd position. Stephen Rockford up in the 2nd. Jimmy Hebert falls all the way back into the 5th spot on that start. Here comes Logan Powers up into trying to battle for the 5th position. Not sure what happened to Hebert on that start. Let's roll back the start here, and you see, looks like the 58, yeah, 58. We saw the flames jumping off the side of that car. The 58 definitely missed the shift on the start there, and that's why he's fallen all the way back into the 5th spot as he's trying to battle his way back up towards the front. And Sean Fleury now up into the 4th position. And Stephen Rockford trying to run down the 18 of Caden Fisher. So Mike Bettis asked, how can you improve your quality on this? If you're watching on a mobile device, there is a gear icon up in the top right corner of the screen. You can click that and change the quality there. Or if you're watching on the internet, you can go right down to the bottom of the screen. There's a gear, and you can switch that over to 1080p. Jimmy Hebert has gotten his way back around Logan Powers. He's trying to fight back. Here comes Powers, though, back on the inside. This is a battle for the 5th position. Powers down on the inside, just not able to get alongside that 58 machine. And ooh, big checkup for Steele. That's going to get everybody out of shape back there as Fleury almost ran into the back of Steele. That checked up Logan Powers as well, allowed Jason Pelkey to get around. And here comes the 71 Steve Fisher into the mix here as well. So Fisher's trying to get himself back up towards the front. As they're side by side now, so Logan Powers is falling all the way back to 7th after just battling for the 5th position. Eric Steele now has the 31 of Sean Fleury taking a look down to the inside. So here comes Fleury trying to move himself up onto the podium. And oh, we got a wreck as the 71 of Pete Fisher has gone around here in turn number 3. A couple other drivers involved in this one as well. That brings up another wreckage rewind. See what happened to Pete Fisher here, taking a look down underneath Logan Powers. Oh, just got loose. See that car wiggle, gets a little loose down the corner, spins it right around. We see Ty Delphia and Joel Hogden right there. Streeter taking evasive action. Looks like everybody was able to somehow avoid Fisher. What a great job for the field to avoid the spinning 71 machine. Glad we were able to get your picture fixed there, Mike. Enjoy the glorious 1080p. We see Ty Delphia down on pit road. I believe he got up in the wall pretty hard trying to avoid the 17 machine, so. In fact, we can take a look to see what happened to Ty Delphia on this incident here as he was, oh yeah, he got tagged there and, oh, hard impact with the outside wall. Did not see that part of the incident, so yeah, a lot of heavy impact for Ty Delphia. Able to get down on pit road and get his reset. Of course, these drivers do have one fast repair in the pits. They can go in and get a brand new car. Because we know on iRacing, sometimes things just happen that are completely out of your control. As we're re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire. Kane Fisher on the inside, Steve Rockford on the outside, green flags in the air. We're back racing as the field makes their way down into turn number 1. Rockford tucked in behind Ty Delphia. Here comes Eric Steele and Sean Fleury battling side by side for the 3rd position. Jimmy Hebert back in the mix as well as Fleury is able to clear the 32 of Eric Steele. And Hebert trying to move himself back up through the field has got a wreck on the backstretch. That is Mark Baldwin and the 49 of Jake Grout. That's going to bring up another replay, wreckage rewind. We take a look to see exactly what happened between Baldwin and Grout. Looks like some hard racing here as Baldwin's up on the high side. Baldwin got loose there off of turn number 2, and unfortunately just nothing that the 49 of Grout could really do right there as he goes down hard into the inside wall. I take that back. That was actually Ethan Tyrell that was involved in that. So Ethan Tyrell making hard contact. It shows the 23 on my screen, the 49 on that car. Of course, Jake Grout is the other 49 car, so it threw me for a little bit of a loop there. So I apologize for calling out the wrong driver. But Ethan Tyrell had nothing he could do, no place to go. As the lights are back off on the pace car, we're re-racked, restacked, and getting ready to refire this time by. Gaten Fisher chooses the outside lane yet again. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. Just 23 laps to go. As Kane Fisher gets another great jump over Stephen Rockford. Rockford and Eric Steele now side by side as they come off of turn number 2. Sean Fleury right behind with Pelkey to his outside as the field comes off of turn number 4. Kane Fisher out in front all by himself. Fleury able to clear Pelkey. Here comes Pelkey back on the high side as Eric Steele and Stephen Rockford continue to battle. And we got another caution out on the track. We see the 17 of Mike Young and Cam Powers involved in that one as well. It looks like Pete Fisher might have got a little piece of that as well as we bring up the wreckage rewind to see exactly what happened here. It looks like Fisher may have gone off track just trying to avoid it. Oh, I'm going to rewind that one back a little bit. Looks like see Streeter down on the low side. Drifts up the track into the 17 of Mike Young. Tries to correct it, corrects it right into the left rear of that 17 machine. Cam Powers nowhere to go. He gets collected, and then that's where Streeter and Fisher make some contact, and Tyrell makes some more contact with that 71 machine. Sends him down through the grass. And now Pete Fisher on pit road getting that reset taken care of, along with Cam Powers on pit road trying to get some damage fixed up as well. As Caden Fisher continues to lead. Of course, don't forget to check out our great partners here in the INSS, including H2O Well Drilling out of Milton, Vermont. Their phone number is listed in the description, along with our secondary sponsor, Til Dark Roofing. Again, you see the number on the screen there as well as in the description. We're already re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire here again. Fisher this time takes the outside with Eric Steele to the inside. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing. And a big jump for Caden Fisher is able to get way out in front of Eric Steele on the restarts. Fleury to the outside of Stephen Rockford this time. Rockford on the inside as they battle for the 3rd spot. Rockford's going to take that position away, but here comes Fleury trying to battle back on the high side. Look who else is making their way up into the mix here. Logan Powers has found himself back up towards the front, currently running in the 7th position. Started dead last due to the EOL for winning last week. We have less than 20 laps to go, as 18 laps to go as they cross the line this time. Sean Fleury, caution out on the track. Baldwin around on the front stretch. Let's see if we can see what happened to Mark Baldwin here. Looking down underneath Ty Delphia. Oh, Tyrell way up on the high side. They're 3 wide, and I don't think those drivers knew they were 3 wide. They all make some contact. Unfortunately, Mark Baldwin gets the worst end of the stick here as he gets nosed into the inside wall. And you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. That's exactly what we're seeing here right now. I apologize for my screen getting a little funky there. Let's get that fixed up here. As one car gets waved around the pace car there, get back onto the lead lap. So here we go. Caden Fisher up on the high side this time. Eric Steele down on the low side. John Fleury, Stephen Rockford back in row number 2. Rockford on the inside, Fleury to the outside. Pace car off onto pit road. Caden Fisher hits that loud pedal. We are back. Green flag racing. As Eric Steele now Sean Fleury trying to battle to the outside. Logan Powers right there on that high side as well. He's trying to make some moves. He has to check up though. Keep from running into the back of Sean Fleury. Eric Steele's able to clear Rockford on the low side as him and Fleury now continue to battle side by side. Oh, Pelkey just got really, really loose. He checks up the back half of the field. There's some more contact as Shane O'Neill runs in the back. Ty Delphi into the back of O'Neill. And Tyrell, oh, the 36 of Hogden gets turned around. He goes down pit road. No caution as everybody's able to keep it going straight. Oh, and Pete Fisher now involved in an incident on the backstretch. That does bring out the caution flag. Another wreckage rewind as we take a look to see what happened. Ooh, Shane O'Neill in this one as well. So a couple drivers involved. I think we'll start looking at Shane O'Neill here as I think he was the first one involved. Well, they're 3 wide. You see Pelkey on the outside. Ethan Tyrell on the inside. Oh, yeah, and a little contact there. Pelkey gets down in the streeter. Tyrell. O'Neill involved. Ty Delphia gets a little piece of it as well. And it looks like Fisher got the worst of it as he was shoved down into the inside wall. Well, you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. Of course, over at intensitybroadcasting.com, we have that exact t-shirt, Cautions Breed Cautions. You can check that out, as well as some of our other novelty t-shirts over at intensityracing.com. Of course, helps us out at Intensity Broadcasting, as well as Atlee Atman-Weiss's racing career. Of course, he's got his merchandise up on the website as well. Atlee coming off a 2nd place finish in the championships down at Langley Speedway. He made the announcement that he'll be racing a couple street stock events or late model events next year. So we wish our own Atlee Atman-Weiss luck as he continues on his racing adventures in real life. Of course, you can see all that over at the Intensity Facebook page as well. So here we go. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here as we are nearing the closing laps of the event. Pace car getting ready to take that left-hand turn onto pit road. Caden Fisher up on the high side. Green flags back in the air. Eric Steele is not fooled on that restart as he is right there on the inside of Caden Fisher and trying to battle for the lead. They make their way. Oh, Rockford gets turned around right in front of the field. Big wreck. Got one up on its roof. That's Streeter back on his wheels. Caution is back out. Oh my, that was a large one. So we try to take a look to see exactly what happened here. We might have to take a look from the blimp for this one. Well, it looks like, I'm going to rewind that just a little bit because it looks like Fleury was loose coming into the corner. Yeah, this one actually starts a little further back. So you see Fleury down on the low side. Rockford pinching a little bit, but not really enough. They make some contact there. Fleury gets down, touches the apron. That shoots that car back to the right. More contact. between Fleury and Rockford. And then the overcorrection there by Fleury trying to keep that car going straight turns that 66 around right in front of the field. And you see Logan Powers getting involved. Streeter turns around the 58 of Hebert. There's Tyrell getting involved in it as well. And you see Streeter up and over on his roof. And getting back on his wheels. Let's take a ride along with Kyle Streeter. You see real time just how fast it happens here. Just nowhere he could go as he's involved. Up and over on the roof. Get back on his wheels. Fortunately for Streeter, that might be pretty much his night. Not sure if he had a... Well, looks like he did not. He did have a reset, so he did not use his reset earlier in the night. He's able to get out there with a brand new car. Same with Stephen Rockford. Jimmy Hebert also has a brand new car. Drivers who we know have some damage. The 10 of Logan Powers. See that right front? Kind of pushed up on that right side there. So not sure how much damage that 10 machine has. See if he's able to, and the left side of that machine, of the 31 machine of Fleury, a lot of damage as well. So a couple drivers here with some significant damage. So we'll see how that's able to work out for these drivers as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Caden Fisher back, green flag racing with 13 laps to go. Eric Steele is not able to stay side by side that time, as you see Sean Fleury and Logan Powers battling for the third spot. Side by side off of turn number 4. Fleury able to nose ahead just a little bit, as the damage on Logan Powers' car might be significant enough to slow down that 10 machine. Here comes Pelkey down to the inside, trying to take over the 4th position. See Ty Delphia. Ooh, Ty Delphia really loose there. Oh, one around in the back. That looks like Jimmy Hebert. Caution is out yet again. So we take a look to see what happened to Jimmy Hebert here. Oh, it actually starts with, this is the wrong incident. That's probably why it looks familiar. Try that again. So it starts with Jimmy Hebert. Looks like he might have had a little bit of help there from behind the 17. Yep, the 17 just gives him, oh, looks like he had a little connection issue at the same time as well. And that's could be why the 17 of Mike Young got into the 58. And we see quite a few blinks there from the 58. So he's down on pit road. So Caden Fisher still in the lead. Eric Steele runs back in the 2nd position. Sean Fleury, your points leader, up to 3rd. Logan Powers, last week's winner, in the 4th spot. And then Jason Pelkey up into 5th. Ty Delphia is going to restart in 6th. Ethan Tyrell in 7th. Mark Baldwin 8th. Shane O'Neill 9th. And Joel Hogden, I'm sorry, that's the 17 of Mike Young in the 10th position, as Caden Fisher is going to lead him down off of turn number 4. Green flags back in the air. We are back racing once again with just 11 laps to go. Logan Powers battling side by side with Sean Fleury. Oh, Til Delphia just up in the wall a little bit. That's going to allow Pelkey to get the position down into turn number 4. And Fleury now solidly up into that 3rd position as we have just 10 laps to go. Oh, Powers and Pelkey make some contact. Ethan Tyrell had to jam on the brakes to keep his car from spinning around. He's going to lose a ton of positions, fall back into the 11th position as Til Delphia and Logan Powers continue to battle side by side. Pelkey up into the 4th position. Logan Powers trying to hold on to a top 5 finish here. Til Delphia thinking better of it as the caution flag is out. And we see Steven Galeson, Stephen Rockford, and Kyle Streeter looked like they were all involved in this. We pick up the action. We see the 49. Oh, that is a weird impact right there due to that little, the crossover, not crossover gate, but the entry there to the racetrack. He hits the opening, and that puts Streeter into the inside wall, Rockford as well, Galeon. So a bunch of drivers right there involved, and that's just a weird opening. You know the old saying, if there's a weird opening on a racetrack, a race car is going to find it. And that's exactly what just happened there. So Ethan Tyrell, unfortunately, on pit road with a lot of damage to that machine. See if he's got a reset in the bag. He does not. He's going to have to sit there and wait for some of that damage to get fixed. So lights are still on the pace car. We'll go one more lap before we get them re-racked to finish this one out here at New Smyrna Raceway. Of course, New Smyrna Raceway, that's what the track looks like right there, just under a half mile. See the track temperature, not too hot. 89 degrees. The weather here, 67 degrees. A little bit of humidity though, and that's what's making this track just a little bit slicker. As Caden Fisher is going to choose the high lane again. Eric Steele on the low side. Fleury and Powers in row number 2. And Pelkey and Delphia back in row number 3. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Fisher back to the gas. We are back green flag racing. Fisher again able to clear Eric Steele before they get down into turn number 1. Logan Powers continues the battle side by side with Sean Fleury. Til Delphia, oh, Til Delphia gets into the back of Logan Powers. What a save for the driver of that 10 machine as he was able to hold on. And now he's trying to pinch down Pelkey, trying to keep that spot. We come to 6 laps to go. Caden Fisher has quite a lead over Eric Steele as the battle right now is back here from 3rd on back. As Powers is trying to clear Jason Pelkey to try to go back to battling for that top podium, final podium spot with Sean Fleury. 5 laps to go now. Pelkey still on the inside. Powers is going to clear Pelkey. Oh, but he's going to get up into the wall, allowing Pelkey to get back to the inside. As they go back side by side for the 4th position. Delphia gets a little sideways right behind this group, trying to get up to the back bumper of Pelkey, as Logan Powers has been able to clear Pelkey. And now Til Delphia is going to look up to the high side, uses a little bit of bumper, gets Pelkey. Pelkey gets up into the wall. He's going to lose a couple of positions as Mike Young gets around as well. Joel Hogden, and here comes Hebert on the back bumper of Baldwin. We have just 3 laps to go. Caden Fisher out in the lead. 2 laps to go. Eric Steele trying to run down that 18 machine as caution is out on the track. It looks like it's for the 91 of Mark Baldwin. See if we can rewind here and see what happened. See a bunch of cars here. We see Baldwin, Hogden. We see Hebert here as well. And looks like Hebert might have helped the 91 go around. See right there, that front bumper makes a little contact with that rear bumper. Right there. And that's enough to spin that 91 around. We see O'Neill get up into the wall. So we're going to go back racing in 2 laps. Again, caution flag laps do not count. And we're going to double up now. Kane Fisher again going to choose the outside lane, giving Eric Steele the inside lane. Sean Fleury and Logan Powers back in row number 2. And Jason Pelkey and Til Delphia will be in row number 3. See if Powers can get around Fleury to get up onto the podium, or if Fleury's going to hold off Powers on that low side as the pace car takes off down onto pit road. Fisher back to the gas. We are back green flag racing. 2 laps to go. As Fisher's going to clear Steele down into the corner. Oh, Steele gets loose. Getting into the corner. That allows Fleury to pull down to the inside. As they come off of turn number 4, the H2O well drilling final lap is, the white flag is in the air. And Fleury was able to clear Logan Powers. Eric Steele back in second. Caden Fisher running away with it. Big wreck from behind as they come off of turn number 4. And Caden Fisher will get the win. Eric Steele comes home second. Sean Fleury in third. Logan Powers back in 4th. And Mike Young, after having issues at the beginning of the race, finds himself in 5th place. But how about this? All about this young man right here, the 18 of Caden Fisher, getting the win. See a couple drivers still spun around on the front stretch as Caden Fisher is going to celebrate his win here, right here in front of the flag stand. He's going to park that car in victory lane. As we take a look at the final results. Again, Caden Fisher getting the win. Eric Steele comes home second. Sean Fleury in third. Logan Powers and Mike Young round out your top 5. 6th place is Joel Hogden with Steve Rockford 7th. Kyle Streeter, Jimmy Hebert, and Shane O'Neill rounding out your top 10. Cam Powers brings it home 11th. Jason Pelkey in 12th. Til Delphia in the 13th position. 14th was Dean Gelson Mark Baldwin 15th, Ethan Tyrell 16th, Pete Fisher 17th, and Jake Rout round out the field here tonight at New Smyrna. As we get ready to talk to our top three, starting with our third place finisher, driver of the 31 machine, Sean Fleury. Sean, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Great job coming home third. I know the beginning of the race really wasn't much of your race. You're kind of stuck back there mid-pack after getting spun around there in the heat races, but able to claw your way up into the podium spot, helping your points lead tonight. Talk about that race and talk about that the battle through the middle part of the race, being stuck in the middle there.
Yeah, we had a bad starting spot. I just tried to pick cars off as I could. It's hard to pass, especially on the bottom. You get real loose. So just basically dodging wrecks and, trying to keep it smooth and clean and not slide the tires.
Yeah, that seemed to be the story of the night here tonight, was just how loose these cars got, especially down on the low side. It seemed like the power was really hard to get down there. Was there a way to mitigate that at all, or were you just trying to stay out there and keep it as clean as you could?
If you pinch the car too much, you could really break the tires free. You just try to run a nice smooth lap through the corner. Uh, just easy on the gas, eggshells, get up off the corner and get full throttle down the straight.
Well, again, congratulations on the podium. You got some shout outs here. Sandy Fleury says, congratulations on your third place finish. Lori says, nice job, Sean. So, couple shout outs for you here in the chat before we let you go. Anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give?
Yeah, thank you guys, first of all, for covering us. And thank Logan, H2O Well Drilling, Til Dark Roofing. Congratulations, Caden. He's a hell of a wheelman. Good job.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium and good luck next week as we move on to Iowa.
Thanks.
So that was your third place finisher, Sean Fleury. Our second place finisher, Eric Steele, is he in the booth here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Eric, what a run for you here tonight. Battling there with Caden. Kind of stayed up front all night long and just battling from the get-go. We saw the looseness on that low side, and that kind of be your downfall there on those restarts, I think, when Caden was choosing the outside. Is there anything you could have done differently? I saw him you almost got him one of the restarts, but just weren't able to stay up with him there.
Yeah, the most important thing to me was to just continue to run clean right there and not get up into Caden, because he ran a fantastic race here. He deserved that win. He was definitely the man to beat. Our speeds were relatively equal lap after lap. We had a little bit different entry and exit approaches, but in the end, he had what it took to win the race tonight.
For sure. And as the end of the race kind of got caution filled, it seemed like that kind of played into your favor. Maybe you would have been able to sneak a restart off or something, kind of catch him sleeping, or maybe catch him missing a shift. Is that kind of what you were hoping for there at the end, or were you just trying to run some laps to get him run down?
Ultimately, I was just trying to file in behind him and get us 3, 4, 5 car lengths back to the number 3 car in order to then potentially work on setting up some sort of pass. I could draw up to his bumper, but he ran the perfect defensive line, which was my home run line, and just nothing I could do with it. So overdrive it a little bit, get a little loose, fall back a car length or two, catch back up. That was pretty much the game of cat and mouse we played there most of the afternoon.
Well, a great run for you here tonight, Eric. I do have a shout out here in the chat for you. Quentin Nuttall says Eric Steele makes my knees weak. So I just figured I'd give you that shout out that he said right there. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
I got to thank Quentin for that one. That's a good one. All the guys back at the Hard Racing Discord. That's where I spend most of my time building and racing advanced Legends C-Class stuff for everybody on the platform. 100% free, fast setups. Come to our Discord. Plug them in, get out there and win. Admin box, as always. I'm sure that you've got an admin box, and if you don't, man, we got to talk about this. Best piece of equipment I've got on my sim rig when it comes to hosting races. Hands down, nothing like it. And I got to thank the wife for letting me spend hours and hours and hours and hours sitting in this cockpit, just racing my life away.
I understand that. My wife goes through the same thing, but not racing my wife away, but announcing my life away here. But now I do not have one of those admin boxes, so maybe we should talk a little bit later on. So Again, congrats on the second place finish, and good luck next week as we move on to Iowa.
Thank you for what you do, and have a great night.
You as well. And it doesn't look like Caden is here in the booth here tonight, I don't think. No, he's not. So, again, we want to congratulate Caden Fisher for the win here tonight at New Smyrna. He showed a lot of speed, making his way through the field. Got up 7 positions from where he started to get the win. So congratulations to that young man. Of course, we want to thank everybody who makes this possible here tonight on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, H2O Well Drilling, Til Dark Roofing, IntensityRacing.com, The Butt Kicker, and Race EPI. You can check all of the links down below in the description. Again, next week we move on to Iowa Speedway, as we'll have just 3 more races left of the season here in the INSS. So make sure to tune in, hit the notification bell. That way you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, thank you for watching here tonight, whether you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, or Twitch. We do appreciate you joining in. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say,